Hi everyone, I am Anonymous Traveler from Intellectual Exercise. Today, I will talk about controlled transformation and uncontrolled transformation. Controlled transformation is one of the key elements of spiritual alchemy. It is an art and science of achieving an actively assembled selfhood and purified to the perfection by using one's willpower and effort. If you want to review what is actively assembled selfhood and what is passively assembled selfhood, I already made a video about it on my old channel, so please watch that video. And uncontrolled transformation is a process where some type of transformation happened without necessary prerequisite. In other words, it is a situation where a student didn't do his homework, yet thrown into a situation where he cannot solve the issue because he didn't do his homework. So, in this case of uncontrolled transformation, the end result is just bad. And uncontrolled transformation can happen in several ways. But today, I will talk about psychedelic drug-related one. The naked truth of our existence is we are living as a sleeping slave. We live and function as a slave. And the goal of spiritual alchemy is to overcome this vicious cycle of slavery. In other words, its goal is transformation. The allegory of making gold out of coarse material is a symbolization of this process. The core process of transformation is unravel the passively assembled selfhood, which was designed to function as a slave, and then actively reassemble the selfhood with proper elements of your choice. And it takes time and patience. For that purpose, what I consider the best is either spiritual alchemy path or the non-involved observer's path. The best example of the non-involved observer's path is the Theravada Buddhist path. Theravada Buddhist path is different than mainstream Buddhist path, and I will discuss this in another video in the future. Traditionally, the non-involved observer's path is hidden and without any organization supporting it. There are very few who walked this path, and they tend to live this plane of existence without trace, meaning no teaching, no student, no school, etc. But rare exception is the Buddha, who was the ultimate master of this non-involved observer's path, yet decided to give out the teaching regardless of all the hazards and the troubles. Anyway, both of spiritual alchemy paths or the non-involved observer's paths share a lot of common ground, and one of them is they require dedicated effort. Also, they both put great emphasis on insight development. However, many people seek a shortcut for this process of transformation. One of the most popular methods has been hallucinogenic drugs. Such drugs have been around since the ancient time. The way the drug works is it manipulates brain temporarily. However, when this process gets deeper, during the short time, mind experiences less communal gravity. Our mind is always strongly attached to the layers of the communal reality. That is because of the communal gravity. This communal gravity is a backbone of our communal reality. This gravity pulls you down 24/7 to the ground of our communal reality. However, hallucinogenic drugs can reduce this communal gravity temporarily. When it comes to drug use, not all the hallucinogenic experience is the same. Sometimes it just scratches the surface. But sometimes it can be a serious trip where you go really deep, and that's what I call the trip where the communal gravity gets suspended temporarily. From now on, when I say the drug-induced state, I will only focus on the one where you go really deep. However, removing or reducing one's communal gravity with an artificial means is not really a wise method. Reducing gravity temporarily allows one to experience many things that are normally not seen in our communal reality. Our sensation and the perception is based on the communal reality. When communal gravity gets reduced, we can see beyond the communal reality. Communal gravity and the communal reality are like two sides of a same coin. One cannot exist without the other. So, can we use drugs to speed up the process of transformation? My answer is no. There are very few exceptions, but in most cases, its risk to benefit ratio is just not good. Because suspending communal gravity temporarily means that the component of your selfhood will be unraveling. That means this process requires safety measures or anchor. And that safety measures is insight, and it is not something you can obtain overnight. It takes a long time and a dedicated effort to develop insight. Insight is the safety measures that goes hand in hand with reduced gravity. When one is developing oneself naturally inside and the decrease of communal gravity are working and developing together harmoniously. But when artificial measures such as drugs came into play, it throws one into a situation where one is totally helpless. When you have no insight, facing the suspended gravity is a very dangerous situation. Normally, this kind of a situation does not happen, but drugs can cause such a situation. In a natural setting, where no drug is involved, one can reduce gravity little by little along with insight increasement. And reduced gravity lead to see things from different perspective. Then it leads to see things beyond the communal reality, which many people call spiritual or supernatural experience. However, without insight, which is safety measures or anchor, you will get lost. And in some cases, you cannot come back from a deep hallucinogenic trip with all your faculties intact because you have not developed safety measures to guarantee the safe trip. In case of deep hallucinogenic trip, it temporarily removes communal gravity regardless of the stages of insight development. As you can imagine, it is a very dangerous situation, and some people come back as a broken man after such a trip. The reason why some have returned as a broken man is some part of various components of the person's selfhood never came back and reassembled. I already explained in my previous video that as a default, we are living with passively assembled selfhood, and our goal is achieving actively assembled selfhood in order to complete the great work. However, when drugs got involved and some component of the traveler's passively assembled selfhood got broken fundamentally, one cannot progress on the path. And in severe cases, one cannot even function as a normal human being when he came back to our communal reality. I will give you a famous example. I believe you are familiar with the name Pink Floyd. This progressive rock band became a mega band with super successful albums such as Dark Side of the Moon, Wish You Were Here, and The Wall. However, its founder, Syd Barrett, got lost during the deep hallucinogenic trip. He was a leader, singer, and guitarist of the band and composed almost all the songs on the first album. But he just went too far with hallucinogenic drugs while not having a safety measures, which is insight. So the end result was he never fully came back from the trip. In other words, he could not come back with all his faculties intact from the dimensions which you can experience when the communal gravity got temporarily suspended. So, Sid Barrett was not able to function as a normal human being in our world. He could not properly communicate with others. He would get totally lost in the middle of a concert and standing on the stage doing nothing but staring into the space with empty eyes. The bandmate even tried to bring in a psychiatrist, but nothing helped. So, the band had to kick him out. This is a famous yet good example, and the key factor of this disaster is Sid Barrett didn't have safety measures, which is insight. What we can learn from this is we have to develop our insight diligently in order to confront the suspended gravity. And to develop insight, the most effective tool is meditation. And out of all the different meditation approaches, insight meditation is the best one for this goal. Insight meditation is basically a process where you train your mind to see things as they truly are. Also, you can write an observational journal where you play a role of a scientist and observe your behaviors like a test subject in a clinical study. However, to achieve the best result, you need to do it every day. It is more effective to do it every day for 10 minutes instead of do it once per week for 2 hours. Even changing a simple habit requires frequent reinforcement. And to develop something that goes against the grain, such as insight, it requires frequent practice, so it's always better to do it every day. And if you have enough time, do it multiple times per day. That's even better. Thanks for listening, and all the best.